deal with that. Yeah. First, I will try to talk one technical aspect, guys. Then we will see what is security and other things. Okay, I'll ask one question. Let us assume, okay, I want to inject one spring bean with another spring bean. Okay, but for that one, both spring beans should be there in a IOC container or need not to be there in IOC container. Both beans should be there in same IOC container or not there. Are you getting my point there, guys? If you don't keep Java classes as Spring Bean in same IOC container, can we think about injection between two beans, guys? Can we really think about injection between two beans, guys? Come on, everyone. One. Okay, that's great. Where is this? This is my 915. No. Okay. Common topics. Okay. Where is this? Spring Boot batch we completed. Spring Boot security, right? Okay. This is what? Yeah. Spring Boot security, guys. It is extension module that provides multiple ready-made filters to enable what? Security on Spring Boot MVC and Spring REST application. Okay. And also what? Microservices. If security module is used in Spring style, then it is called Spring security. If same security module is used in what? Spring Boot style, then it is called what? Spring Boot security, right? Spring Boot security can be applied uh, on Spring Boot application, also on what? Spring Boot application. This is very interesting or not, my dear? So security on web application by using Spring Security or Spring Boot Security can be done on web application, can also be done on what? Non-web application. Okay, now let us try to understand what is the problem. I have a servlet component or servlet filter component in servlet container, and I have a Spring Bean in IOC container. Can I inject this Spring Bean to servlet component, guys? No, not possible. Array, why? It is not there as Spring Bean. It is there as a servlet or servlet filter component in servlet container. And when injection is possible, guys, injection is possible when both are there in what? IOC container. If I can move the servlet filter component to IOC container as Spring Bean, then injection is possible or not possible, guys? Then definitely injection part is possible or not possible, guys? Okay, guys. Here Spring Bean injection to servlet filter component is not possible because servlet filter component is not taken as what? Spring Bean managed by IOC container. And servlet filter component is managed by whom, guys? Servlet con. If I want to do this injection, I have to move servlet filter component to IOC container as Spring Bean. Since both are Spring Bean, injection is possible. But one problem is there. What is the problem, guys? Okay. If I move servlet filter component to IOC container, it becomes Spring Bean injection possible. But, but, can it take the can it take the request given by browser? If servlet filter is moved to IOC container, that does it have its original capability? Does it have its original capability, my dear? Come on, I want reply, guys. Does it will it be having its original capability of what? Trapping the request and taking the request. Come on, I want reply, boss. trapping the request and taking the request is possible or not possible, guys? And definitely what? Not possible. Possible or not possible, guys? Okay, guys. So it's possible to inject by making spring bean, but it's losing its original possibility, right? I want to do injection, but at the same time, it should take the request from what? Browser. For that one, what I do is I will move this component to this, no doubt. I will move this component to this. That's the point number one. Okay. I will move this component to this. That's the point number one. Here I will take a special filter which traps the request and it delegates to what? Another servlet filter that is there in IOC container as Spring Bean. Who is that special filter, sir? That is nothing but delegating filter proxy filter. What is there? Okay, delegating filter proxy filter. Look at the solution. In order, what is this? In order to inject, dependent Spring Bean to servlet filter component, we need to take servlet filter component also as what? Spring Bean in IOC container. Also as Spring Bean in what? IOC container. Everyone getting my point there or not there, guys? Super. Browser gives a request. Who is the special filter that is taking the request, guys? Delegating filter proxy, which is a ready-made servlet filter or not there. Number one, request generation. Number two, trapping and taking the request. Number three, what is the work of this one? Delegating filter proxy. After trapping and taking request, it looks to forward the request to what? That servlet filter that is there in IOC container as Spring Bean. How does it know, sir? What is the logical name of this filter? F1. Same logical name F1 should be given here or not there. What is the bean ID of this servlet filter? F1. F1 matching a boss. It is not my work now. It is the work of delegating filter proxy, which is a ready-made filter, guys. Traps the request and delegates the request to what? Another servlet filter that is acting as a Spring Bean in IOC container. That is number three, number four. So this number five talks with what? Java class as Spring Bean or not there, guys? It will talk with Java class as Spring Bean or not, my dear. Come on, I want reply, my dear. Okay, now listen. Because of this, the real Spring Bean can be injected to servlet filter. After all, servlet filter is also acting as a Spring Bean over here, na boss. After all, servlet filter also acting as a Spring Bean over here or not there. Did you convince with this that, my dear? Come on, everyone. Did you convince this statement, my dear? Okay, that's great. If we take servlet filter component as Spring Bean in IOC container, this one, then any other dependent Spring Bean object can be injected to the servlet filter Spring Bean. Okay, this another Spring Bean can be injected now, my dear. But that servlet filter cannot trap and take request from browser window. Can it take direct request from browser? No. For this, we need to configure special ready-made servlet filter component given by what? Spring security model. That is what? Delegating filter proxy. What is there? Delegating filter proxy. Having URL pattern slash are not there. Having URL pattern slash are not there, guys. And okay, and logical name matching with servlet filter components bean ID belonging to IOC container. Belonging to IOC container. What's the filter name, guys? F1. Here, what is the bean ID? F1. Both are matching now, boss. In this IOC container, so many Spring Beans will be there. How does it know? It has to delegate the request. It has to pass the request to this Spring Bean only. Okay. Logical name of delegation filter proxy filter should match with what? Must and should match with what? Must and should match with what? Servlet filter component. What component, guys? Okay. Listen. Number one, browser gives request to web application. Fine. Delegating filter proxy traps and takes a request. Delegating filter proxy delegates or passes the request to what? Servlet filter component that is acting as what? Spring Bean IOC container. Searches for that servlet filter component whose bean ID matching with what? Delegating filter proxy logical name. Searching, matching happening or not there. The logics in servlet filter component executes or not there, guys. Super. Servlet filter component uses the injected dependent Spring Bean services through method calls are not there, guys. Okay. I'll tell you one simple manner, guys. I'll tell you in what simple manner. Okay, let us assume boy, girl, boy. Okay, na? Girl, boy. Girl wants to do love marriage, but only with parent permission. Yes or no, na, guys? Girl wants to marry boy, but condition is my parents should agree. Okay. See, if she goes to love marriage without parent permission, okay, parent support will not be there. Yes, na boss? If she stays here for parent support, boy will be not be there. Yes, my dear. But situation is she want both. Situation is she want both. And very simple. Okay, talk to one matrimony fellow. Okay, make arranged marriage as love marriage as arranged marriage. Somehow you should look like both should look like what? Arranged marriage as love marriage as what? Arranged marriage. Okay. Now see, look at this. This delegating filter proxy is a matrimony fellow. What fellow? Okay, boy and girl are in IOC content. They are already in relationship. So what happens? Okay. So whenever parents approaches what? Matrimony. Matrimony what? Will show this boy officially it is looking like what? Arranged marriage or not there? Are you getting my point there? See here, what is this? Marriage is so scary nowadays. Okay. First become eligible, ra. First become eligible for marriage, then scary, easy, huh? Easy, all these things, right? Okay. No problem. Already population is so too much in India. If you don't marry, that's not a big problem, right? Okay, enjoy bachelor life. Okay, that's not a big deal. Right. Yeah, tell me here. Servlet filter component, Java class as what? Spring Bean. If I move here, I'm losing the facilities of servlet filter. If I stay here, I cannot do injection. So that's why I moved servlet filter to IOC container as Spring Bean. But I'm taking the support of one special filter, ready-made filter, who traps and takes the request and delegates to what? Another servlet filter that is there in what? IOC container in Spring Bean. As Spring Bean. And what is that special filter, guys? Delegating filter proxy. Convinced, my dear? Super, guys. Okay, keep this knowledge in mind. Why did you talk that knowledge? I will explain. Why did you talk that one? I will explain. Okay, remember there is a special delegating filter proxy, which a ready-made servlet filter. Traps and takes a request, no doubt in that. Okay, traps and takes a request, no second thought in that. But delegates a request to what? Another servlet filter that is there in IOC container as Spring Bean. Is that clear, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay. Security in web application is nothing but authentication plus authorization on the web application. Authentication. Checking the identity of a user using username, passwords, thumb impression, iris. Array, iris means I related one. Digital signatures and etc. Array. I checking the identity. Authorization. Checking the access permissions of a user on various resources is called as what? Authorization. Is called as what? Authorization. Are you getting my point? Here, the roles of user will be verified before allowing the user to access what? Different resources of the project. Are you getting my point? Okay, guys. Different resources of the project. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. To use WebEx, I need to authenticate, you need to authenticate. I need to submit meeting ID password, you need to submit meeting ID password. But once I join as a panelist, because my role is panelist, your role is student. Okay. I have more access permissions in this meeting now, boss. You have less access permissions in the meeting. What do you say, guys? I have more access permissions and you have less access permissions or not, guys? You take a bank application. Bank customer, bank employee, bank manager. Everyone will use what? Same mobile application. I log in with my username password. As a customer, I will get only customer options only. When they log in, whenever they log in, they will be identified with the employee role, manager, clerk, cashier. Accordingly, they get the access permissions are not there. Do you think ICICI Bank people are designing separate application for customers, separate application for employees? No. Same application. Okay, na? When you log in with username password, based on the username you have given, it will pick up the role of the user. According to the role, access permissions on the various resources will be changed. When my role is customer after logging, I can operate only my account. When my role is cashier manager, he can operate anyone's account, right? Application is same. Maybe you may get more options also. I will not be having, come on, I will not be having, I will not be having option of, I will not be having option of, I will not be having option of opening account. But as an employee, will be having option of opening account or not there. As an employee, you will be having option of opening account or not, my dear. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super, boss. Checking the access permissions of authenticated users on different resources of the project. Here the roles of user will be verified before allowing the user to access what? Different resources of the project. Roles are nothing but designations given to what? Users. Based on the roles of users, the access permissions on different resources will be decided or not there, guys. Okay, guys. All customers, employees, bank must be authenticated to use what? Bank application. The users having customer role will get less access permission on the resources, whereas the users having employee role will get more access permissions on the resources. Always getting my point there or not there? Okay. It is always recommended to enable, come on, authorization of accessing resources, not based on the username. It is recommended to perform on the roles of users. Array, authentication, authorization will never be done on the username. It always recommended to do on the roles. Roles are like designations. See, I joined the meeting with my username password, let us assume. Based on my user, for my username, role is there, faculty. For username password, role is there, student. If I give access permission on the username, tomorrow I got promoted and gone to another level. Again, I have to my name should be removed with someone name now, boss. If I give access permission based on the role, guys, what happened? A new employee will get the same role. I will get the another role, right? So since when he log in, his role is picked up. Based on the role, same access permissions will come or not there. So that's why don't give access permissions on usernames. Always use access permissions on roles. I hope you understood this statement, guys. Okay. It's always recommended to enable authorization of accessing resources, not based on what username. It's recommended to perform on the roles of what users. During authentication process, get the roles of user and use those roles for what? Authorization. Check it out, guys. What is there? Here is my end user. Okay. Here is what? Authentication. What is there, guys? End user authentication. If authentication failed, 401 error. Okay. This authentication process submits the username password. Once authentication is successful, it will pick up the role or not there. It will definitely pick up the role or not there, guys. Okay. If authentication succeeded, authorization takes place or not there. Based on the role, it will get the access permission. Okay, saying that, okay, this is allowed, this is not allowed, this is allowed. That kind of, based on the role, they will be there, na boss. Okay, like this, the resources accessing will be decided or not there, guys. Suppose, okay, the user is trying to access the resource to on which permission is not there. When authorization fails, you will get 403 error, na boss. If authentication fails, we will get 401 error. If authorization fails, we will get what here, guys? What error, boss? 403 error. Are you getting my point there, my dear? Come on. Okay. If authentication fails, you will get 401 error. If authorization fails, you will get 403 error, right? Okay. Listen, guys. Okay. Array, this authentication will check a given username password against the username password that are there in the database. This database is technically called realm. Security realm means the small storage place where username password roles will be stored. Username password for authentication, roles for authorization. Okay. Check it out. Realm means small database software or repository where the username, passwords, and roles are managed. What are managed, guys? Roles are managed. Realm is a small database software or storage place where username, passwords, roles are placed. The components of security implementation. Authentication provider. Okay. Authentication provider or authentication info provider. B. Authentication and what? Authorization manager. Authentication and what? Authorization manager. Are you getting my point there or not there, guys? Super boss. Authentication provider or authentication info provider, also called as what? Security realm. It is the place where username, password, and roles are managed and stored. It is a small realm where username, password, roles are managed and will be used during both what? Authentication and authorization. The possible values are properties file, XML file, JSON file, database software. LDAP is the best place, in-memory DB, and etc. Why LDAP is best, guys? Remaining all places, if you forget the password, you can recover the password. In LDAP, if you forget the password, no question of what, recovering old password except resetting the password. Gmail, Yahoo Mail, all latest people are using what? LDAP server as authentication info provider. But that's a commercial one, guys. After joining company, you will get idea how to work with LDAP server, right? All commercial email accounts or commercial logins will happen. Their username, password roles will be stored in what? LDAP server. Lightweight directory access protocol. In all other authentication providers, we can get what? Passwords of users if they forget password. That means we can recover the password. In LDAP server, no browser to get password. Only resetting password is possible. Only resetting password is possible. Here, password recovery is not possible. What is not possible? Password recovery is not possible. Only resetting is possible. Security realm means it's a small storage place where username, password, and roles will be stored and managed. Not only username, password, guys, even roles will be stored and managed. And roles will be stored and managed. Okay. Authentication manager or authentication info manager. It is the place where username, password, roles will be managed. We have a lot of option, guys, but LDAP is the best one. What is LDAP? Lightweight directory access protocol. In all other realms except LDAP, password recovery is possible. In LDAP, password recovery is not possible. Only resetting of password is possible. Only what is there? Resetting of password is possible. Convinced, my dear? Come on, everyone. In all other security realm, in all other security realm, in all other security realm, come on, in all other security realm, except LDAP, except LDAP server, only, except LDAP server, the password recovery is possible. Whereas in LDAP server, password recovery is not possible. Only, what is this? Password reset is possible. Only password reset is possible. Yeah. Tell me here, what is there? Authentication and authorization manager, boss. It is the component that verifies given username password to perform what? Authentication, and gives what? 401 error if authentication fails. What error, my dear? 401 error if authentication fails. Are you getting my point? The same component collects the roles of authenticated user and performs what? Authorization activities for accessing what? Different resources. Gives 403 error if authorization fails. What fails, guys? If authorization fails, you are going to get 403 error or not there. If authorization fails, you are going to. And authentication authorization manager or authorization. Okay, it is a component that takes the username password, verifies with already available username password. If you failed 401, if succeeded, next level, right? Okay, next one is what, guys? Authorization. It takes what? Authenticated username password, checks the access permissions of the resources. If all okay, that resource will execute. If some problem, you are going to get 403 error or not there. We are going to get 403 error or not there, guys. Okay, that's good. Authentication and authorization manager can be arranged in two ways. Are you understanding? So two main components of security is what? Authentication provider, authentication manager. Authentication provider is the place where username password roles are saved. Authentication manager is the component that actually perform authentication and authorization. And it will verify the identity of a user, also check the access permissions of a user. So this authentication and authorization manager can be arranged in how many ways, guys? Two ways. One is number one, using programmatic approach and using declarative approach. One is using programmatic approach. Other one is using what? Declarative approach. Are you getting my point there or not there, guys? Okay, that's good. Here we need to develop the logics of authentication and authorization manager explicitly by spending huge amount of time and brain manually. Programmatic means you should sit and write, Ra Babu. It's a very complex process or not there. Me sitting and writing logics of authentication manager is very complex or not, guys. Using what approach? Declarative approach. Max web server or application server provide what? Built-in security support by providing built-in authentication and authorization manager. By adding entries to web.xml file, we can activate authentication and authorization manager. Refer security in web application in Servlet JSP environment or not there. Refer security in web application in Servlet JSP environment or not, my dear. Come on, guys. Are you getting my point there or not there, guys? Okay, one is what, guys? Programmatic approach. Other one is what, guys? Declarative approach. Declarative means we don't create any code, guys. Already there. We take it and activate it. Already available. We take it and what? Activate it. Is it not interesting, my dear? Come on, everyone. Yeah. Limitations of declarative approach for securing the application, guys. Okay. Declare. See, programmatic means you have to develop. Declare means in web server, application server already there. We just want to activate it by adding entries in web.xml. But we are here not to use application server authentication manager. We want to use Spring Boot security, right? That's why I'm trying to give problems of what? Declarative approach. That means we are not going to work with a programmatic approach or declarative approach because they are related to Servlet JSP environment, right? I'm interested to use what? Spring security or Spring Boot security. For that one, I'm trying to explain the problems related to declarative approach are not there. Various problems related to declarative approach we are observing here are not there. Okay. Okay. Only selected servers support this feature. Okay. Sometimes we need to purchase license of costly web server or application server to use only this feature. Are you getting my point? To use only this feature. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay. sometimes we need to purchase license of what? Costly web server or application server to use only this feature. Are you getting my point there, guys? As of now, this facility is what possible by adding additional entries in web.xml. That means not suitable in 100% code driven configuration, Spring Boot application. Come on, where XML is totally eliminated. Where XML is totally eliminated. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. In 100% code driven configuration, Spring Boot application, where XML is what? Totally eliminated. When we move from one server to another server, right? When we move from one server to another server, these configurations in web.xml file may exchange. What, guys? These configurations in web.xml file may change. Web.xml entries related to security are not portable what? Across the multiple servers. Okay. Very simple. Only in few server this feature is there. Number one. Number two, what is there, guys? If you are developing application by using 100% code driven configuration where you need to avoid XML, can I entertain web.xml, guys? Number three, when you move security, this application having security with application one, having security from one server to another server to server entries in web.xml is changing or not there. And the most bad part is best authentication supports LDAP server or does not support LDAPs. Unfortunately, this approach does not support what? LDAPs. Not support what? LDAPs. That's another headache we are having. Okay. Last one. No support for LDAP server as authentication info provider. To overcome these problems, we use what? Spring Security or what? Spring Boot Security. Convinced, my dear? Okay. 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 Yeah. We need not to arrange costly server only for security. In normal server, let us assume security support is not there. Only for security, you have to arrange server numbers. So these are the problems that we are having. What? Declarative approach. Now we have to see advantage of of spring security or spring boot security are not there. Spring boot security. Understanding my statement, guys? Okay, guys. Fine. The security extension JS of web application. Let me say one thing. Spring security, not security is the security. Multiple servers. Are you getting my point there or not there, guys? Super. We can use this security irrespective of what? Whether underlying server supports servlet container level declarative security service or not. What service, guys? Declarative security service or not. Come on. Spring security is no way related to what? Servlet container security. Spring security is no way related to what? Servlet container security. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super. Supports different authentication info providers, including what? LDAP. Yeah, LDAP support is there. What is there? We need not to arrange costly servers only for what? Security. There is no need of arranging costly servers only for security. Are you getting my point? Are there, guys? Come on, everyone. You getting my? Are you getting clarity on? Yeah, got the clarity on everyone? Yeah, got the clarity or not there? Advantages of Spring Security are what? Spring Boot Security. Can be used in Spring MVC, Spring REST, Spring Microservice application. Also in what? Non-Spring based applications like Servlet JSP application, JSF web application, and etc. The security configuration code of what the multiple servers. The security multiple. We can use this security irrespective of what? Whether underlying server supports servlet container level declarative security service or not. Supports different authentication in front info provider, including what? LDAP. We need not to arrange costly server only for what? Security. Are you getting my point there, guys? So whatever problems are there with the traditional declarative security can be solved over there or not there, guys? Okay. Okay. Now tell me. In Spring and or Spring Boot environment, we can apply security on MVC application or REST application or what? My God, microservice application. In how many approaches, guys? And in how many approaches, guys? Totally in how many approaches, my dear? Definitely in how many approaches are, guys? Okay. Yeah, please come back. Using Spring Security or Spring Boot Security, that is one option. Using JWT, next, using what? OAuth 2.x or Vodka. Okta. It is what? Okta. Right. Okay. Yeah, listen. These many options are there to enable security in Spring and yeah, I pronounced it wrongly. I know that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think they are connected because that's their drink. Because I pronounced it wrongly and girls are laughing. Sari is taking our drink name, right? Okay. Fine. Hmm. In Spring environment, Spring Boot environment, we can apply security on MS application, REST application in three ways. Using Spring Security or Spring Boot Security. Okay, here what? Basic authentication is supported, guys. In basic authentication, what happens, We don't design login page. Browser only generates the dialog box asking username password. Come on, when you get into Tomcat Manager window, you will get one dialog box asking username password. That is basic authentication. You want to see that? Only the thing is, designing is not there in our control. Dialog box will come, but that's a ready-made dialog box, guys. Browser to browser look will change. That won't fit in regular web page look. Yeah, where is this? Tomcat 11.x bin directory. Here is what? Tomcat 11.exe file. Run as administrator. What is there? Run as administrator. Yeah. Now let me open the home page, guys. Okay. What's the port number? Any idea? 7799. Oh, someone is very sharp. 7799. Home page of Tomcat. This is manager application. Yes. This is called dialog box of basic authentication. This is a dialog box of basic authentication. Are you getting my point there, guys? Browser generates the dialog box asking username and password. Form based authentication, right? Okay. Ready-made or user-defined form page will be there asking username comma password. Asking username comma password. Okay. This is the best compared to these two things. And it can use in-memory database. Instead of using separate database, in-memory database will be used. There only username password will be saved. Using property file, we can use property file as authentication. Using database software as authentication info provider. Using LDAP server as authentication provider. While using database software as authentication provider, it can internally use what? It can internally take the support of what, guys? Spring JDBC, ORM, data JPA, user details service. Next, using what? JWT, JSON Web Tokens, right? Using what? OAuth 2.x. What is that? Open authorization. This is very useful for what? SSO. Okta is commercial one, guys. We cannot use it. But open authorization 2.x is non-commercial one. Are you getting my point there, guys? Yes. Commercial one. It is a commercial. It is a commercial. Okay. We can use FB, Google, Twitter login for what? SSO feature, single sign-on feature, boss. OAuth 2.x is not there. Ask, sign up, sign in. Those options will be there. That is not there to entertain that. It is there for what purpose, guys? Providing hyperlink. Array, nowadays you take Spotify.com, guys. You take any website, Spotify. Why that is required? Array, daily we are using 100 to 100 applications. Using 100 to 100 passwords, we cannot remember 200 applications. 100 to 100 applications, we cannot remember passwords. We cannot remember that. But social media username password, we remember because we use them almost every day, right? Yes or no, guys? That's why instead of having separate identity in some websites, we would like to use what? Social media identity as what? That website identity. So suppose you take Spotify.com. You take Spotify.com. You look at Spotify.com. Array, not coming. Yeah. Spotify.com. Already I logged in with the Facebook user, right? Okay. Here you observe log out. Yeah. Where is this? When you go for login option, guys, observe in the login screen, regular username password story is there, but also option is there what? Continue the Facebook is there or not? This browser is already continue as Natras because in this browser I already logged in to Facebook. Okay, now that means Facebook identity has become my identity or not? That means entire Spotify identify with what? Identifies me with what, guys? Identifies me with what, guys? Come on, Facebook identity or not, my dear? Okay, to implement such feature in our application. So far we enjoyed that one as a end user, right? To implement such feature in our application, definitely we have to go for what? Security concepts are not there, guys. Okay. Yeah. Next one, guys. What is the next one? Spring Boot security. What security, my dear? Spring Boot security. So this is what we need to focus, guys. Concentrate. This is now real coding starts. Technical part start. Focus. Okay, na? Everyone, please focus. Spring Boot start as Boot Spring security to Spring MVC Boot start Spring MVC process. Microservices Spring Service process. MVC Spring called delegating filter proxy will be resisted with a slash URL pattern having logical name Spring security filter chain. What is there? Having logical name Spring security filter chain. For this, one class will be generated extending from abstract security web application initializer. That is what is abstract security web application initializer. Okay, that's an internal class or not there, guys? Okay. So once we add starter, delegation filter proxy coming automatically, it is automatically resisted with what? This. We need to develop configuration adapter class as configuration class extending from what? Web security configurer adapter. Overriding how many methods? Two methods. Two configure method having authentication info provider, authentication, authorization details. Every details we add in authentication and authorization. For every details we add in authentication authorization, separate in-memory filters will be generated as Spring Bean, and they will be linked with what? Delegating filter proxy filter. That means delegating filter proxy traps the request and links these requests dynamically generated filters, then passes to controller classes through dispatcher servlet. Passes to controller classes what? Dispatcher servlet. Okay, guys, come on, Kishore. After arrival of OAuth security, JWT is losing its popularity. Yes, it's there. I'm not saying outdated, but when Facebook login, Twitter login is there, that is easy to use now, my dear. Are you getting my point there, guys? Okay, we also learn JWT. It's not like that. Okay. These requests dynamically generate filters, then passes to controller classes through what? Dispatcher servlet. Very simple, boss. Authentication and authorization requirements you have to write now. Which one should be used as authentication info provider? In-memory DB, property file, database, LDAP. You have to write in first configure method, right? You have to specify that information in what? First configure method. In second configure method, authentication and authorization request. Which URL should be authenticated, which URL should be authorized. So that is decided in what? Second configure method. Check it out. This is the first configure method. Yeah, provide logic for configuration of authentication info provider, like in-memory DB database. Second configure is what? Here we have to go for what? Authorization activities are not there, guys. Okay, but this is in Spring Boot 2.x, guys. It is in what is there? Spring Boot 2.x. It is in Spring Boot 2.x. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. In Spring Boot 3.x, we can take this security configuration class directly as a normal configuration class without extending from other classes. Without simply literally extending from what? Other class. I'll give code in 2.x setup and 3.x setup. Don't worry. By keeping maintenance projects in mind, 2.x. By keeping new projects in mind, 3. We'll be working with this, right? So in 3.x without extending from any other class. Okay. But into but there also configure methods are there. Here also configure methods are. So ultimately configure is what? You configure adapter class having two configure method. First configure method is authentication info provider configuration. Second one is what? Authentication and authorization works. URL by URL we configure. Home page URL. Okay, permit all. Don't apply any username. No authentication, no authorization. There is a balance page. Authentication is required. Manager and customer role people only can use it, right? There is a offers page, guys. What page? Offers page. Authentication is required. Employee role, customer role, visitor role. Any role people can watch that page are not there, guys. So in the second configure method, we write those statements, guys. Come on. We write those statements. Are you getting my point there or not there, guys? Yeah, see got. Browser gives request to controller one class. Yeah, basically I'm what the flow I'm talking. Guys. Browser gives request to controller one class, one handler method, right? Who traps and takes that request? Delegating filter procs. It's a filter. Looks to Mr. Spexwala. Be active, man. Be active. It generates the request, na? Number two, delegating filter proxy traps and takes a request, my dear. Say something, my dear. Come on. Traps and takes a request. Okay, that's good. Uh, it looks to pass the request to another Spring Bean that is also servlet filter. Okay. And listen. Based on the configurations we do in second security, first configure method, second configure method of security config, lot of filters will be generated dynamically, guys. What filters? Suppose I choose and remember me option, one filter added. I have chosen what? Form based authentication, one more filter is added. So this filter trapping the request, delegating to other dynamically generated filters. These are linked with authentication info provider, nothing but you. Suppose if you mention property file is my authentication info provider, all these are linked with that are not there, guys. So that means because of this filter that are linked with authentication info provider, first authentication happens. Come on, guys. Then authorization takes place or not there, guys. If authentication, authorization both are succeeded through dispatcher servlet, request goes to controller class, my dear. If authentication failed, okay, these filters only dynamic there. If authorization failed, these filters only dynamically gives 403 error page or not, my dear. But these are what? Dynamically generated filter based on the options we choose in what? Second configure method. And all of them are linked with what? First configure method authentication info provider, right? But these are filter acting as a Spring Bean. So someone should be there taking the request and passing request to these filters are not there. Who is that someone? Delegating filter proxy. What is there? Delegating filter proxy. Okay. Spring security generates on requirement generates are in what configured in configure method. One of these filters is sometimes what Spring security is applied. Spring security is applied. Authentication manager. Is that clear, my dear? Come on, everyone. Okay, guys. Spring security memory filters based on your requirement. The second configure method. One of these filter when contains Spring security supplied one authentication manager. Authorization levels in Spring security or Spring Boot security. What are the authorization levels we got? Permit all. Just now I said no home page. Permit all is better na? To get the home page of any project, no authentication, no padre. No authentication plus no authorization. That means no role checking. Home page, about us page, contact us page, terms and condition page, all this stuff. Next one is what? Authenticate. Only authentication on the given request URL resource. On the given request URL resource. And no what is there? No authorization, no role checking. Only authentication is enabled. Note this one. Suppose home page, no authentication, no authorization. Suppose main menu page. From home page, there is a main menu page. Authentication is enough, authorization is not required. Or offers page, authentication is enough, authorization is not required. Are you getting my point? Main menu page, inbox page, what is there? Send or compose mail page. Just authentication is required, authorization is not required. Anyone can do that work. Has a role. Authentication plus authorization. See, not only username, password correct was, you should have a permission to do that work, right? Checking balance pays, transfer money, withdraw deposit. Not only username, password, you should have a permission to do that work, right, guys? Changing password, deleting mails, and etc. Everyone not allowed. Only certain permission people only can do that. As any role. Authentication plus authorization. Any one role should be there for the user from the list of roles. Even fixed one role, guys. From the list of role, any one role should be there. Are you getting my point, guys? Yeah. Checking balance, transfer money, any one role. Checking balance, either customer role or employee role. Transfer money, either customer role or employee role. Okay. As a role means given one role only must be there, right? Yeah. Controller class request path, guys. Generally, slash home permit all. Home page na permit all. Contact us permit all. About us permit all. Slash inbox. Only authentication is sufficient. Anything else not required. Check balance. As any role user comma manager. Transfer money as a role user. Deposit money as any role user manager visitor. Anyone can deposit the money or not. I think you got the basic theoretical concept of what all this stuff, what all this stuff, guys. Session 2, Spring Boot Security first example application. Using in-memory DB as authentication provider is good only in dev test environment profile of the project. Using UA in UAT prod environment profile, prefer using what? Database software or LDAP server as what? Authentication info provider. Database server or what? LDAP server as what? Authentication info provider. Are you getting my point there, my dear? Database software or what? Authentication provider as what? Database info provider. Okay. Slash home.jsp. What is there? Permit all. Slash offers.jsp authenticated. Slash balance show underscore balance.jsp authentication authorization has any role customer or manager to see the balance customer role or manager. Loan approval to loan approval JSP pointing to JSP authentication is required authorization as a role manager. Okay, yes. Okay. So first okay. What I do is guys. First what I do is guys. So home page having three hyperlinks. Offers hyperlink, balance hyperlink, approval. First I will make it without authentication and authorization. After that, in the second level, in the second level, so now let's start doing that work. Eclipse ID. I think every time we are using 515, later we are copying projects to other people, right? Yes, guys. Krishna, we'll use IntelliJ, but when you are learning advanced topic, try to work with what? Known environment. Okay, not the unknown environment. And Krishna, why are you asking me? IntelliJ is another idea. You can sit and work with that now. How many times? Krishna, does it take 100 hours to use IntelliJ for you? It's another idea, right? Please, we'll use. Don't worry. Because I have to take some ready-made projects which are already there in what? Eclipse. For that reason, I'm going with Eclipse only. And moreover, IntelliJ is 30 days expiry period is there for enterprise edition. And non-enterprise edition, we cannot develop Spring applications, right? That's the one more reason why I'm not so keen to use IntelliJ. Every 30 days that license expiry issue is there. Okay. But one, two examples I'll show, don't worry. Yeah. New Spring Starter project. New Spring Starter project. Yeah. Boot, boot, boot security APP. Security pros 01. Where? Okay. Spring Boot security. Say next. What is there? Say next. Web. Dev tools. I may need Lambda API. I'll add security starter later, not now. First, let me develop the basic application. First of all, let me develop the basic application. Yeah. Security APP one, guys. Right. Yeah. Security APP one, my dear. Here, let me put the folders also, guys. Web app. What is there? Web app. New folder. What is the folder, guys? Web-inf. Under this, what is the folder we got, guys? Folder pages. What's the folder we got, guys? Pages. Yeah, tell me here. Right click, new package. com.nt dot controller. com.nt dot controller. Yes, okay. View resolver configuration. What guys? View resolver configuration. Yeah, view resolver con. Spring dot. Tell me. MVC dot view dot prefix slash webinf slash pages. Spring dot MVC dot view dot suffix. Next. Embedded server port. Okay. Context path. What is this? Server dot servlet slash context path. What is there? Security app1. Somewhere. Okay. Okay, I'm developing one controller, guys. Class here. Class here. Bank operations control. What controller, guys? Bank operations controller, guys. Are you getting my point there or not there, guys? Okay. Bank operations controller. Bank operations controller. There, what is this? At the rate controller. Public string show home. At the rate get mapping. Slash. Return LVN. Return welcome. Return welcome. Public string. What is there? What is there? Public string. No, no, no. Okay. Show balance. At the rate get mapping. Balance. Actually, I can connect from database and other stuff, but right now I'm taking random number, guys. Okay. Double amount is equal to new random dot. What dot? New random dot. Next double of. Next double of big name. Okay, guys. Now I want to put this one in the shared memory. To get the shared memory, what is the story? Yeah, I think we discussed all this stuff, guys, right? Map, control plus shift plus map dot put. Okay, balance, guys. Balance. Anything I can take. That's not a issue. Return show underscore balance. Return show underscore balance. Amount. Okay. Yeah, this is done, guys. Okay. Yeah, next one. Offers is there. Okay. Public string. Show offers. Here also I need Here also I need home page. @ get mapping / offers. Okay. Add model attributes. What guys? Add model attributes. Got it, guys? Okay. Add model attributes. Tell me. Map dot put. What dot put, guys? Map dot put. Map dot put. No offers. We have to display the offers. Home loan. Home loan. Yeah. Tell me. Home loan. 7%. Home loan rate of interest. RO of interest. ROA. 1 minute. I'll go for HL ROA 7%. Right? I'm just giving offers, guys. Tell me. Car ROA. CL ROA. Okay, 12%. Next. What are the other loans will be there, guys? Gold loan. Gold loan ROA rate of interest. Okay, gold loan generally map, right? Map dot put ELROI. ELROI. What is there? 6%. Return offers. Otherwise, I'll take page name as show underscore offers. Okay, guys. Now, these 3 pages I should develop now, my dear. Okay, number 1. Tell me, JSP file, guys. JSP file. Welcome.jsp. Welcome.jsp. Forget about all this stuff, guys. Is EL ignored is equal to false. Here is what? Style. Color colon red. Test hyphen align center. Home page. What page, guys? Home page. Welcome page or home page, whatever it is, right? Center. Here is what? Ahref. What is there? Ahref. Okay. Balance is the URL. Show balance. Okay. Ahref. Offers is the first one. Show offers. Right? We are displaying them, my dear. Okay. File save as show underscore balance.js. Okay. Account to balance page. Account to balance page. Bold. Bank account. Balance is. Lower bracket, open this. What is there? What is the model attribute? Balance only, na? BR. Ahref. What, guys? Dot slash. Dot slash home. Dot slash home. File save as, guys. Show underscore offers.js. Where slash is missing, guys? Oh, slash is right now in. Okay, there is slash is not required. You know that. Tell me, bank offers space. What space? What phase, guys? What phase, guys? Bank offers space. Okay. The bank offers are what, guys? Bank offers are. Bank offers are. Tell me. Italic. Home loan. What is there? EOI, right? Home loan, EOI. Expression, rate of interest. Home loan, ROI. Dollar floor bracket. What is this? HLROI. You are taking like this or not there? Yeah, tell me next one. Gold loan. GLROI. Next, car loan. CLROI. As usually, home hyperlink is taken, na boss? Ah, one more is there, huh? Education loan. Screen stuck, da. Kishore, problem is your side checked out. Okay, EL. Yeah, let's run the application first. Run on server. Say next. Run on server, say next. Now check, guys. I think now back, screen is back, it seems. Say next. Remove all. Server may be in use running. Yeah, outside server is in running mode now. Outside server is in running. Right click, run on server. Yeah. Home page has come. Show balance, show offers. Balance is coming, big number. Okay. Offers is coming, big number. Right now, all pages are used by all people, but we want to provide security on this application. Home page for everyone, balance page for certain authentication plus certain authorization. Offers page what? Authentication plus certain authorization, right? How to do that work, we will discuss when we meet in board. Evening class, not tomorrow class, evening. Okay, first I will teach this one in what? 5-point X setup. Similar applications we try to develop in what? Sorry, first 2-point X and then 3-point X. Right. Next class will be at what time? Yeah, around 5 o'clock. I'll make it 5, 5:10. I'll start the session. Thank you. Have a nice day.